I've recently been showing the VHS videos I've been buying. I've been buying quite a lot, some in bulk, so I'm gonna have to go through them. But inevitably, because a VCR is such a mechanical device, it will run into problems. So, although I've invested all this money into these items, I'm now in a situation where the VCR is starting to chew up some of the tapes, and it's getting a bit annoying. It's holding on to them for dear life, and it's causing a bit of an issue. One of which is Waterworld. So it's causing absolute havoc at the moment, and it's becoming a bit of a pain. In all honesty, probably my fault. I left Waterworld in the VCR upon trying to start the VCR again, maybe a month or a few weeks later. It just decided to start causing me trouble. So I don't know if it's some sort of dried out. I don't know if you can see there. You probably can't see it, but yeah, you can see that. That's obviously that stretch. After that, it'd be fine. So it's probably only a few frames, but it's not ideal, is it? To be honest, it's like because it's incredibly frustrating because the fact that you can't just go down the shop and buy a new one. So you are literally at the mercy of the availability. So it's frustrating. Full well, even if I went and got another copy, it's not that easy to get another copy, and they're only going to get more and more expensive. So they're becoming rare, and it seems a waste, doesn't it, to lose videos because of the bloody VCR. So to that extent, I'm realizing that I'm going to definitely have to learn to maintain this VCR myself. There's no point relying on services. Of course, maybe there are repair services. Who knows how much that costs? So this VCR, for instance, the one I've got, it's a Sanyo. I think it's 4 head. I don't know if it's 4.6. I can't remember how many. Don't know what the maximum is, but it's a really good one. But I've had it since I was maybe 18 or something. I can't remember. But it's over 20 years old. It's old. Um, Yeah, it's older than that, I think. So it's quite crazy, isn't it? But it was in a cupboard for a long time, never getting used, and yeah, I've just recently just pulled it out about a month or so ago. I just grabbed it back out of the cupboard. So, it's probably dried up and all sorts. I don't know all the mechanisms to it. It's just a bit frustrating. I think to think back when your childhood or something, when VCRs were prominent, I don't think many people took them apart. So here we are in this day and age trying to salvage things. But yeah, trying to keep the old physical media alive, really. So I'm going to go through some of the videos, and I just thought I might as well record me learning, maybe learn together. If anyone else has got it, they're going to end up collecting videos, you're going to have to find a way to maintain your devices. Otherwise, you have to have a cupboard stacked of VCRs. And in all honesty, I'd rather just have one that's maintained because, if you repair it, for instance, I don't know how long a repair would last, but if you're maintaining it every year or so, I guess, I'm hoping it's an easy process. I'm hoping once I know the parts I'm looking for, what needs to be lubricated, what needs to be replaced. Hopefully, it's not a huge haul. I mean, if it's beyond me, it's beyond me. But hopefully, it's not. And if I can maintain it, then of course it reduces the risk of these tapes getting ruined. Because last thing I want is it to be potluck randomly when the tape is going to get smashed to pieces. Because it makes it quite risky. Effectively, your video collection will have to just stay on the shelf because you're terrified of using them. Um, yeah, so there's a lot of videos on YouTube, so I'm going to go through some. I just found iFixit, and it shows like it hasn't got my device. Mine's a Sanyo, so it's got Samsung, Panasonic, and Sony. Interesting thing, like, I'll do this in another video. Is one of my videos it turned up damaged when I ordered it, and it's smashed. I got a refund on it, but they just said keep the case, keep it. But it's annoying because obviously the film, I haven't been able to test it, but hopefully the film itself's fine. It just needs the new shell. And I've been wondering that, like, how do you just replace the shell? Surely I can just take the tape out of that one and put it in a new one. And this video here, where it says plastic shell, that's actually showing you the process of doing that. So I don't know if it's a case of just use a rubbish video, take it apart and put that one inside the rubbish video, or is it possible to buy an empty case? Maybe you just need a blank video, actually. Maybe buy some blank videos and use the case. But yeah, maybe that's the way to do it. Instead of buying a blank case, just get a blank video and then take the tape out. I'll watch that later and go through it all myself. And maybe do a separate video on the process if I manage to do it. Because I don't want to lose the film just because the case is all smashed. You just arrive that way. So anyway, what's this one then? So we've got how to clean a VCR, maintaining it. I don't know about that. I just need to make sure. Well, we'll start on the cleaning because obviously that's what I got set. I didn't realise what ones I've done. To clean the head drums, easy to choose camo sticks, whatever they are. Never damage one with Q-tip. all I really need to know is what parts are really vital for this cleaning. Because what I'm thinking personally is I'm wondering, I don't know if it's the heads or what, I don't know what it is that spins the tape. I don't know if you need two spool things to spin it, or does it just use one of them to spin them? But I'm just figuring if one's out of sync or one's not worth functioning, maybe that means that when it's trying to move, one's stiff. I'm guessing that's what causes it. Um, yeah, I mean, obviously, if I can learn to do this, then it becomes another skill, doesn't it? It's just, yeah, so let's have a look then.
Hi, my name is Mark Takna and welcome to my channel, The Media Nerd. This video, I'm going to show you how to clean a VCR. Now, why on earth would you want to learn how to clean a VCR? Let me give you a quick scenario. You find a big box of VCRs.
Well, I don't really need that. I just need now to fix the bloody thing. Right, let's have a look what I might need.
There's a few things that you're going to need to clean your VCR. You don't need everything, but I'm giving you a wide variety. Dust off cleaner. Now you can use rubbing alcohol to clean the heads, or you can go out and get yourself this audio video printer tape head cleaner. You could also use audio video printer rejuvenator cleaner. This is for the plastic parts and rubber parts. This out of the way. Use a Q-tip, cotton ball, or you can use these special PEC pad cleaners that I use. First thing we're gonna do is take the screws out. Now the screws vary depending on VCR. This one has it on the side.
Why does everyone always use power tools just to undo a screw? I never understand that. Just get a screwdriver. Pure laziness.
Here is the inside of a VCR.
See, the trouble is that looks complicated as shit just looking at it, doesn't it? I mean, I can build a computer and I don't understand the parts, but I don't understand the parts to a VCR. But I guess we learn. There's just an awful lot of like pins and things, you know? Like everything's like long, look, all these things. So the video's coming in here. Oh, that's obviously where it's hooking into, but that seems quite overwhelming to me. So let's see what part does what then. Because that's not making any sense to me. Like, what's this big drum? Is it the motor? I'm guessing that's the motor. No, that looks like a motor. This little bit on the right here. No.
The first thing you're going to want to do is take your dust off and clean the inside. You want to do...
Why does it keep saying dust off? Is that just air compressed air?
Do this first because when you clean everything, you don't want to then spray it down and get a bunch of dust particles on stuff you just cleaned.
Well, that's completely pointless. It's quite obvious to me that he's already done this. He's spraying it to show us, but it's obviously clean. You can see how clean that is. There's no dust.
You can use rubbing alcohol and it's perfectly fine because you're just going to do this one off. But rubbing alcohol, if you use it a lot, it's going to start drying the plastic and rubber parts and make them crack, like this plastic and that plastic. So because I do this a lot, I'm going to use this special tape head cleaner. And I'm also going to use my PEC pads. The PEC pads are non-abrasive.
Well, we need to know this.
So you just want to get the pad a little wet. The first thing you can clean is this head that spins. This is what picks up the video signal. You can see these little holes right there. That's where the signal is being picked up. There's one there, and that's what gets clogged with dust. So I'm just going to put my finger on it and clean it.
Right, so a can here. It says tape head cleaner. It's £15 on Amazon in the UK. There are like video, what do you call it? Videotapes, so you call it head cleaner, but I don't know if they're very good, to be honest. That's £5.99. It seems to, I think personally, if you can get inside of a machine, you can obviously do a lot more cleaning than you can if you try an external version. So I think when you put them tapes in and you're hoping it's cleaning the heads, I'm not really sure how much it's really doing. You know, I just need to figure out the actual tools. So we've got air duster here, compressed air. I think what I will do is add things to basket, just so I've got an idea of the item, and then I can do a thorough search. So we know we need the head cleaner. We want the dust in. Oh, there's even a vinyl record cleaning kit there. Well, I had the compressed air, but I don't know what to do what I've done with it now. Compressed air. Interesting thing is compressed air. I was going to get an electronic one in the past. Probably should have just done that. It's one of those sort of things you're going to use, isn't it? So anyway, just added to basket just so I can sort of figure it out. It's important. Right, I missed a little bit what he said there. So he's saying that was a load of nonsense. Let's do that.
That spins. This is what picks up the video signal. You can see these little holes right there. That's where the signal is being picked up. There's one there, and that's what gets clogged with dust.
See, I really need to get mine apart. I don't want to unplug it. I think this is the trouble when you come to clean them. You've got to literally unplug and disconnect everything. And some people have them in TV units like myself. It becomes a right pain. So yeah, what's happening with my one? It's not only chewing up the video. Some of the videos sound like machine guns. It's like, it's this weird noise, and you can't hear anything other than that. So I don't know if it's the VCR or the video. So I can't complain to the person I bought the film from because it could just very be this. And if he's saying dust build up, makes sense.
So I'm just going to put my finger on it and clean it and just spin this head around. So you could also use a Q-tip, but the things with Q-tips and cotton balls, they can leave little fibers, and you don't want fibers left over. So you can just give that a little wiggle right in there. Next thing you're going to want to clean are all these little metal parts. Just rub it up and down. I'm not touching the white plastic. And there's sensors right here. There's a black sensor here and a black sensor here. Almost all VCRs are built the same way. Now I'm going to use this cleaner and rejuvenator. This is for the plastic. So the rejuvenator, what it does is if you hit rubber, it helps put the moisture back into the rubber because rubber dries out over a period of time.
So that's really interesting because, to be honest, when he had all those bits out, I thought this is just getting complicated. I just want one solution to do it all. I don't want to be buying a million pieces. But the reality is I do want my VCR to last a long time. It's a really high quality VCR. Yeah, it was back in the day when I bought it, so I know it's still that now. And it's just maintaining, isn't it? So if I end up doing it every 6 months to a year, I don't know how often, but then it's smart, isn't it? Because then we reduce the risk of it like things ruining. I'd rather do that than have a crisis on my hands where everything's just getting chewed. I think what's going to be frustrating is if you go through this whole process and it still breaks everything, you'd be like, give up.
Time. So I'm going to clean this white. That's just about it. Here's a rubber. You can clean this rubber right here, but I don't think it does much of anything. Okay.
I think it's worth noting, though. I think personally, he could have done. It looks like he's got machines around him. That looks clean to me. Surely that was already spotless. So I think realistically, you should have maybe had a version like this to show what it looks like when it's really clean, and then just shown us on one that's a bit needing work. Because I'm not seeing any of this needing work, and I might open mine up and it's a filth pit. And it's like maybe that's what we needed to see get cleaned. It might be harder to remove everything if it's full of grime. I'm terrified. I've got a feeling there might be rust or something. That's going to be a nightmare, isn't it?
Once you're done cleaning all of the parts, you're going to let it dry for a little while. You can just sit there and let it dry, or you can get a hairdryer and blow it off really quick. It only takes a couple of seconds because it is rubbing alcohol, really. So here's a VCR tape.
Wait a minute, he did that with the power plugged in. Is that not dodgy? I don't think I'll do it with the power plugged in. Jesus Christ. He's literally just put the video in. It says 2-channel there. That seems awfully risky.
And blow it off really quick. It only takes a couple of seconds because it is rubbing alcohol, really. So here's a VCR tape. So I think you can see by this angle, it's hitting this metal, running across the black sensor here. It's coming up and around this white, hitting this metal piece, going around the drum, back up, going over this metal and the white, coming back down and hitting this sensor here. We cleaned all of it. The VHS tape came out nice. And that, my friends, is the simple way to clean a.
I'm really fascinated by how it operated. That was pretty cool, how the tape wraps around it. Oh, okay, so you've got these two white pins that just get it goes in, it lifts up, the white pins are at the beginning, and then it pushes straight out. That's cool. I'm fascinated. But that's how you learn, you know. Once we get the fascination, then we just innately know.
That's just about it here, but you're gonna let it dry. Oh, really. So here's a VCR tape. So I think you can see by this angle, it's hitting this metal.
It's how fast it does it is what gets me. It's cool because like we get patient, you know. You press a button, you expect it out immediately, but the whole process of lifting it up, moving it there, trying to understand really why it clogs up. But I'm guessing if they slow down, because I've noticed that when I'm pulling it out, if it comes out, for instance, the tape, sometimes it's like really tight, so you can't actually see anything, which is annoying. But I've had a couple of times where I've managed to pull the video out and it's still caught, but you can see, and you do this weird like lasso thing. If you can get enough like that, it clips it over. So clearly it means those things, I think, are really, maybe those things are struggling to retract and go back and forward. That's what I'm thinking, maybe, probably with my one. So yeah, I learned that from him. Good one. We'll give him a like. So check that one out. The Media Nerd. We'll just do it here so we get credit where it's due. The Media Nerd. If you can see it. There we go. Yeah, that was a good video. I actually like that. Because not all videos are going to obviously be the same. An easy VCR maintenance tip.
Hello everyone, just a little bit of a retro media tip here for you. I know a lot of people that watch my channel. Not anything difficult. You'll just need a screwdriver. Take the top portion of your VCR. Have this just set up for the video to show you. You'll just need a screwdriver, take off the top. You don't have to really do anything special, not anything difficult to take apart. Just lift up that lid, and here we have the VCR portion where the tape comes in and the drum.
Well, I'm straight away noticing, I don't know if you can see it, but round here and here, we've got there's two like mini springs. And you've even got this little white clip. Now, my worry in there is if any of them snap, where'd you get them from? So it isn't as effortless as you think, because I don't know, you mess it up.
And I'm going to put a tape in here while it's on just to show you where, in case you're not familiar at all, where.
Yeah, this is cool. So these are the little white clips that we just saw in the other video. So the tape will go in, it'll lift up, the lip will go over, lift up to there, and they grab the tape and drag it back, and then it wraps around the front here. That's so cool.
Where the tape actually physically connects and where it's read for sound, and then you have the drum here and where it's read for video. And usually all that happens, especially if the DVD side is working and showing video, so it's not really a problem with the output or the cables, it's probably just dusty. It's probably just a little bit dirty, and all you have to do is blow some air in here, maybe clean it out with a vacuum, and if that's not quite enough, take a
Jesus, imagine it's bad enough to need the vacuum. What I'll probably do when I've finished all this, it'll be a separate video because I'll have to try and figure out the camera angles of use my webcam, put it on my desk here, and maybe I'll have a little go at trying to fix it, but maybe. But yeah, the idea you need a vacuum, it's terrible. But mine's old, so maybe it does.
A lint-free cloth and a little bit of alcohol, 90% is best. And just clean anywhere where the tape is going to physically contact very carefully, and you don't really need to use a lot, and that should fix your issue. So I'm just going to insert this copy of Warlock Armageddon and show you.
Well, I'm a bit disappointed. I wish they would, if they're going to show it working, why not show it from behind? Because obviously, as soon as it lifts up the lid, I can't see anything. I want to see the pins go into it so we can see it lift out. Yeah.
So without even needing to know the technical reasons why, you know, each part is what it is and what it does, you can see these spots where the tape is physically touching and where you should clean with just that little bit of alcohol and a lint-free rag, and don't really scrub, just kind of like you're dusting, and blow away any dust or debris with some canned air or something like that. If it's particularly dusty, maybe have a small hand vacuum nearby, and that should have your problem fixed. And it's showing up there on the projector just fine.
Yeah, it's really fun because, you know, within the space of short videos here, I've learned what part does what. We know where the head bit is. It does make me sort of raise the question, because like one said, you know, that if they're all pretty much the same on the inside. I'm guessing it's probably the same with DVD players. But then, does that mean, like, is there really a variance between a quality VCR and a non-quality VCR? You know, but I guess maybe it's the chipboard, maybe, because I mean, some have better audio, don't they? I'm just curious, really, how they differentiate. Oh, don't make me have adverts. Oh, I can skip.
So your VCR is not working, it's all snowy. I'm going to show you how to clean the heads real easy. Do it yourself. Don't hire somebody. Don't send it out. Do it yourself. Don't forget.
Exactly, because I was thinking about looking at a repair shop, but you're thinking, how much is that going to cost? And I bet it's just cleaning it.
Get the like, share, and subscribe. I do appreciate that. Let's get into the video.
Today we're doing a cleaning on a VCR head.
And I think what's worth thinking about, actually, is I'm seeing a lot of listings, for instance, on eBay, and they're relatively cheap, but some of them are like broken and faulty. And you're thinking, if you could learn how to do it here, it should be fixable. Of course, if parts are actually broke, there's not much you can do about it. But personally, I don't know how you would fix one that's, you know, when you get them built-in TV combos, I find them risky, because I don't know how accessible it would be with something like that.
So if you have a VCR, if you either have a VCR or you picked one up either at a yard sale or an estate sale, and it doesn't work, or it has some snow in it, or it's not working correctly, very, very easy to clean the video heads. So my trick and my tip and my trick is that basically, if you pick up these, especially these combination ones here, these VCR and DVD players, which are very common, you see them at yard sales, estate sales all the time for $5 or $7, $10, whatever. So first thing is, if you can get the remote control, very important. If not, it's worth a little bit less, just so you know. But to clean the VCR heads are very, very easy, just so you know, okay? Real simple. It's not complicated.
I know everybody's seen 2 videos on it, but I just think the more you see people doing it, it validates there's a right way of doing it. You know, if someone else might have a different way of doing it.
A couple things you need is basically here, these cleaning swabs. These are video head cleaning swabs, and basically some alcohol. If you're rubbing alcohol at home, that'll work.
So what's the point of these cleaning swabs? That seems a waste of money. It says it's nearly $18 when they was all right with a Q-tip. They do look more leather or something there, or maybe, what is it? They look like the sort of material you get when you dry your car. So maybe, because like you said before, if you use a Q-tip, it can leave material. Maybe that's why you would use that, to avoid material.
These are video head cleaning swabs, and basically some alcohol. If you're rubbing alcohol at home, that'll work fine, or isopropyl alcohol, or whatever, any kind of type of alcohol. The idea is the alcohol evaporates on the head quickly, and these are like little chamois swabs, and the chamois swabs pick up the dirt and don't leave any lint. I do see people doing videos online with using paper. I've been cleaning VCR heads for 35 years. I've never used paper. I don't know if it's any good. I think a paper can be a little abrasive and can scratch the head. I'm not really sure. I wouldn't use paper. If you look online, you make your own choice about that. I use chamois swabs. I use things that are designed to clean video heads. So we're going to take this apart real quickly.
Okay.
And we're going to show you how to clean the video heads itself. As far as the DVD side itself, either they work or they don't work. Sometimes if they don't work, it's a laser issue.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, watch another video, you see, I would have just been using Q-tips. Now, of course, I have Q-tips available, but I might look into these head thingies. Yeah. Well, actually, I might do it with a Q-tip first, just because I don't think the first time's going to hurt too much. Because if I can't fix it, I don't want to spend money on parts I don't need. All I need is the alcohol at this point, really. I think, and compressed air. But I think you can blow. You don't really need compressed air.
Or a motor issue, or usually there could be dust in there. So just get a can of compressed air, blow it out, you know what I mean, and just get it cleaned. And it's like compressed air like this. You can pick up this here, and I'll leave some links below where you can pick up all these different things so you can see that. And let's just take this apart and I'll show you how to clean these heads on these VCRs. Real simple. Let's get very simple.
Let's speed it up a bit.
This here is the audio. This is the video head itself. Okay.
I like that. The guy's explaining bits more now, so we know where the audio, because that's what I was saying. I was interested. Like, what's the difference between the parts? If they're all generic, then brands don't matter. But I'm pretty sure they do.
And the video head itself is fairly simple. So basically, it's magnetic. It picks up the magnetic particles from the tape. Basically, it does its magic and transcodes it and plays it back to you as a picture or an image.
That is so cool to me. It blows my mind. I still can't comprehend it. You can explain it a million times over and I still won't understand it. But I'm all for it, and I appreciate the medium, you know.
This here is the audio pickup. So hopefully you can see that.
That sensor's probably filthy, because that's why mine sounds like a machine gun. Because I thought surely it's not the tape. Maybe it is certain parts of the tape, but there must be a certain level of damage on a certain section or something. I don't know.
Get some more light down here. Audio pickup. These are the pinch rollers. Okay, these pinch are very important. These keep the videotape together tight, and actually it helps guide it through this guiding mechanism. This guides the tape. So this basically pulls up the tape, wraps it around the head. The head picks up the signal in the audio, and that's how you get the play.
Right, so for instance, now I'm getting it, and again, this is why it's really important we learn, because then it doesn't seem as intimidating now. Whereas before, like I said at the beginning, I didn't have a clue what it looked like. I can see this is a motor, though. We know what a motor looks like on the right-hand side there. So now we know this is the head, so this is the thing that picks up the video. These are the two little pulleys that pull your tape up, and then they'll stay locked in the position, so it stays there. But this black one, he said, which the others haven't explained, holds and keeps that retention, so it keeps the tape tight. That's important, because I think that might be where part of the looseness is coming from, where it's getting trapped, which I'm guessing can cause that distortion with the sound. So it may very well be, in my one, it's this one here's jammed. Or it could be these. But I'm really excited. I'm intrigued to check mine out. I'm not looks excited, but I'm intrigued.
Back. A lot of times these heads here get dirty, and they're really simple. So never touch the head itself with your finger. Okay, the grease and the oils from your hand will actually get the head basically, you'll corrupt it and make it dirty and won't work correctly.
That's an interesting thing too, because I probably would have touched it naturally, because you naturally feel like turning it. He's saying don't touch it.
So never use your fingers on the head, but you can touch the top of the head. That's okay. And see what I'm doing here? I'm basically turning the video head. So what you want to do is really simple. And this is super simple. It's very easy. So just make sure the pinch head is in good condition, which this one is. And you can pick up these parts fairly easily online. So the pinch roll looks really clean, looks good. It's not, it's not falling apart.
I'm tempted to just buy a load of VCR parts at this point and just have backups, and then just go mental buying a load of used VCRs and fix them up and keep a stack full of them. I bet anything.
Those are usually in pretty good shape. The main two things is the audio head here and the video head. So that's what you have. You have the video head and the audio head. So let's just take some solution. I'll show you how to clean this VCR, and let's get to it. Okay, guys, so first thing we do is we're going to get a clean swab out. Like it is a chamois swab. These are super easy to do, okay? And you take your alcohol. Again, doesn't matter. Isopropyl alcohol.
But surely you don't have to use a brand new one every time, because you can see the cost mounting with that.
Professional alcohol, doesn't matter. You just take it and you just put a little dab on the head itself, on the pad. And you can see it's a little wet there, okay? And all you have to do is place you can see on the head itself. You can see here, I'll make it like that, and you just spin the head around like this. Yep. See what I'm doing here? I'm just spinning it one way, like this, and it cleans all the heads. This is a 4-head VCR, and you see what I'm doing here? I'm just basically going around, and that's it.
See, what does that mean then? Because mine's a 4-head as well, because I made sure to get it because I was getting fed up with the lower quality. I can't remember exactly why. I don't know if it's sound quality or the picture quality, but yeah, especially when you pause it. But where are you seeing that 4-head? Like where is that? He said this one's a 4-head. They all look the same.
Don't overdo it. Don't go crazy. There's a little bit of dirt on here as well. Take the other side.
Try it.
Take the other side, put a little more alcohol on it, and clean the head on the audio side. And again, just that's an easy swipe.
Can't see what he's doing.
Very easy, just to go always one direction.
Yep.
Like this.
It's like you think you're in VR. I want to look around his hand.
Hopefully you can see that. Just one direction. I'll turn this a little bit so you can see it.
So what I will be doing, I will be tagging all these people. I'm not trying to steal people's videos, you know, it's educational for me. So I will put these links to people's videos so you can watch their actual video.
Just like this. And that's it. And now your heads are clean and your audio heads are clean. And that's how simple it is to clean your VCR head. Very, very easy. So I hope I taught you how to clean the heads. Real simple, inexpensive. I'll leave some links below for all the.
Yep, I like that. I think I might have forgot to like the other one. Yeah, give them credit. How can you only have 12 views on that? 12 likes on that one? People, man, they're rude. I did like that one, though. I like all three of them. I don't think we need to keep watching them now. I've learned so much from the first three. I'm happy. I don't think we're going to learn anything.
This is just going to be a little bit of fun.
Say I'm going to learn anything. The guys took it apart. All right. How not to clean a VCR. That's going to be just as important. This is going to be just as important.
If you've ever looked up how to clean the video head on a VCR, you'll have heard the golden rule repeated.
Wait a minute. Is this the same guy? Review channel. I just want to make sure. Yeah, they're going to say, don't touch the head. Don't touch the head.
Do not use a cotton swab or a Q-tip on the video heads themselves. And one of the reasons, well, the main reason, is the fragility of these little tiny heads. We go in
the head's on the edge.
Do you see that little wafer there?
Yeah.
That is very, very thin, and it's very easy to damage it when you're moving around like this. The other reason is, of course, you see all these little stray strands on here. Those can get caught in the tiny wires that are wound around this head, and they can get stuck.
Yeah,
they can break the wires, etc., etc. So I figured, because I've got this video head sitting here that is broken, multiple ways it's broken, so whatever.
That's what I like, is the fact that each one of these videos has provided more perspective. You know, I was going to just go with the things. I was going to use the buds. But yeah, this is, if now I'm understanding where the heads are. That's what my question last time was. What's the heads? And it's these little bits here.
Whatever. Yeah. So, get a little bit of alcohol here. Some isopropyl alcohol.
He's using it.
And let's just try cleaning it. Let's... get right in there. Oh, yeah.
But he's trying to break it. That's the problem.
So...
he's trying, though, isn't he?
The camera caught that.
He's pushing it into it like a nutcase.
Yeah.
He's digging in, though, so that's a bit different.
This is not how you clean a head. Make sure we get the video head. That was the hi-fi.
So what part's important then? Is it just the heads, or is it the metal pit here with the little rings going around it? Because I didn't realise these little grooves were in there and that was the head.
Ooh, did I break that yet? No, not yet. Especially don't go up and down. You really don't want to do this.
Well, he smashed that to pieces, I think.
Oh. Afterwards, I'm going to take this apart and we'll see how badly I messed this up.
You just smash it to pieces.
Make sure to get it nice and clean.
Well, let's speed this process up a little bit.
So
no, oh wait, I went too far.
This should just come up like that.
The whole process.
Here we go. We're in. So, this is the rotary transformer. So this is essentially the method that transfers the signal from the heads to the VCR while it's mounted to a spinning drum. So there's a winding here, and then there's the corresponding winding there, and you work your way out, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a little one there. So you have 6 heads here. I'm not sure what that 7th winding would be for.
That's what I'm saying. I think my one was a 6 head.
But yeah.
Fine. I'm not taking it apart to check though.
See, you've got 1, 2, 1 there, 2 there, 1 there. So let's take a look. So you can see these 2 heads on this side. They look okay.
Oh, it looks like the cable missing.
If we look at them head on, they're in okay shape. Now let's look at the ones that I just brutalized here. Oh, it's busted.
What does that do if you've got extra
is
heads?
Completely busted. That one survived.
He was making it bust though. He was doing it on purpose. It's a bit different if you just clean it yourself.
You can see that one's bent, and I believe the windings are all ripped off as well. Huh. So, I mean, we knew this was going to happen. This is just for fun. Anyway, bye.
That was interesting though, because it's making me wonder whether just take the whole thing apart. Now we're getting advanced. If it's not going to add anything beyond the other ones, I'm not going to keep watching.
Hey there.
Oh.
Do you love your...
We'll like that one actually. It's important we give people credit, you know. How to clean the heads, won't play, bad fuzzy picture. I don't know if we're going to learn anything. I don't want to be rude, but...
VCR, well, alcohol.
Don't need to do that.
This is your erase head right here of your VCR.
Well, what I like about this one so far is he's doing it from the other side, which is what I said. I'm not sure if he's going to put the video in this time. Well, he hasn't got it plugged in. Smart. This one looks a bit more filthy, so it's a bit more practical, I think. Most people are going to be filthy.
This is your erase head right here. And then these are your video heads. There's going to be 2 or 4 little heads on here, or 4 little holes that you'll see. Those are specifically what needs to be cleaned if your video picture is a little bit fuzzy or just doesn't look right, or maybe it's just not playing. Cleaning those can make it work again. And then
thing is, mine plays fine. The picture quality, it's just the tape's having an issue, and sometimes it sounds like a machine gun. So it'd be more the audio side than the head. So I don't think I need to go too mad cleaning that. I thought it was just a metal ring you had to clean.
And you've also got your guide pins. Those are going to need to get cleaned too. And then right here is your audio head. So you want to basically clean everything that the tape runs across. And first thing you're going to do to start cleaning it is your...
Wait. I was using paper. We've just established paper's not the best idea. It's dusty as shit. But that's what I like, is the fact it's normal. But this looks more bare bones than the other ones, but maybe it's the angle.
You're going to take your piece of paper and fold it over a few times. And then now
he's going to clean it with this, isn't he?
You're going to get it damp and maybe even dripping a little bit.
Paper.
That'll be good. Then you're going to clean the erase head.
Nah, I'm not doing it with that. That's just stupid. It doesn't bend properly. There's just no way of using it. That's just don't make sense. I mean, I think at that point, the Q-tip one's better. I know that this doesn't have any loose fibres, but it's just going to scratch the shit out of it, I'd have thought, because it's quite rough. That's mental. What's the comment saying on that? Someone said do the dusting first. Oh, saying that, someone else has put thanks for the tip about using paper instead of Q-tips. It worked like a charm. Saved me a great deal of aggravation. Maybe. I mean, people are saying it's better that way. Went from no video to back in business. Maybe I was quick to judge.
And then all of the pins. You can see right there already just just from cleaning the pins. I haven't even gotten the important part yet.
The audio's the one I really need.
Alright, so that's a little bit dirty, so we're gonna use the other end of it to clean up the video head. Got it all wet, and we're gonna
I think I've got to do this one. That black thing, I'm going to find out if that's stuck.
put a good amount of pressure on the video head, just holding it right here. And it is very important that you use paper for this, because if you use something like cotton or a Q-tip or something, it'll get caught on the video head and it will actually damage it and make it so that it doesn't work at all. So definitely don't do that. All right, so you can see right there, that's pretty bad. We're getting a lot off of this one. So we'll flip it around, hold it the other way. And you really want to do this until you can't get any more stuff off of it. You can see we're still getting more.
Yeah, I'm invested. I'm a bit worried about doing my one, to be honest. But...
And you might also be thinking, well, I could just use a head cleaning tape for this, and that's really not going to get it nearly as good as manually doing it, because this way you can put extra pressure on it. If you do it the other way, you're not going to get as much pressure, so it's not going to get everything. And then we'll flip it over this way again and get it wet with more. We'll get it 1 or 2 more times, depending on how it looks. Alright, we're still getting a good amount, so we'll keep going.
What I like is the fact that he's shown repeatedly to keep trying and keep doing it. He didn't fast forward or skip a stage. He's showing that it's quite filthy. It needs to continually be done. So at this point, I like the way he's doing it, and the fact that you only need the alcohol and compressed air if you need the compressed air. Yeah, so that's really what I've got to look for, the right alcohol, and hopefully get this thing working. Obviously, I'm going to take it apart first before I even decide to do that, because if I think it's not repairable, what can you do? But I like the fact that it gives you the option to restore some of these VCRs. You know, you see some of them so cheap, and you're like, I can't have a dodgy one. Now maybe you can have a dodgy one. But at the same time, this doesn't explain sometimes like where the tape doesn't get ejected and things yet, has it? Because I mean, you could lose any of these little rotating things at the top here, where it gets a bit more complicated.
Alright, so it doesn't really look like anything more is coming off of it, so we're good, and this has been cleaned. This is something that you should definitely do regularly. If you don't, then it might cause damage to the unit. While you have the top off, it'd be a really good idea to get an air can of some kind. We use one of these, and we also do have a much...
It is wise what the other person said, and someone said in the comments, you know, do that first, because if you've just cleaned the heads, and then you just start blowing dust everywhere and it goes back on the head, what did you clean it for?
Stronger one that we use if it's really bad, but you should at least use one of these or an air can, like of dust off or something. And you would be surprised what you can get out of the VCR. Yeah, so I don't know if you can tell, but quite a bit of dust did come out of there. And yeah, these do need to get aired out regularly.
Yep, now I'm desperate to get to working on my one. At least he's got respect on his video. I don't think we need to keep seeing them now. I think we've learned about what each part does. Unless someone shows me the black bit that I really want to see.
We had managed to sell.
Wait a minute, is he got a Sanyo? Mine's a Sanyo.
Which tended to video
JVC.
Well, stack, we have the video scenes. I want to repeat this and just gently.
We're not learning anything else at this point. Don't need that one. Not that the video's bad, it's just I think we've seen enough from that one. We've done bloody well with the other two. The other ones have been great. Oh yeah, this is we're getting the mechanism now, which is what I was talking about. We're going to find out about mechanisms. VCR eats tapes. This is what we're talking about. because it's the head is just watching the video.
In this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about VCR repair, something I've yet to make a video on. Anyway, used to be a lot of money in these things. Unfortunately, there aren't as many people that want them repaired nowadays. But every now and then somebody still brings one in. And this particular one, the gentleman brought it in complaining that the VCR ate tapes. Now that can come from a variety of different reasons, but I'm going to talk about one of the more common ones that a lot of people probably don't know about, and that's the corroded mode switch. Now if you ever look at the bottom of a VCR, sometimes the mode switch is mounted on the circuit board itself, and sometimes it's on the chassis. This one's chassis mounted. And in fact, let me take it out here so you can see what this thing looks like. This was a real easy one to take apart, I'm happy to say. Now this is the mode switch right here, and it's got the little contact points right here that make contact with the circuit board. And the way it works is this thing, the mode switch rotates, and the reason it rotates, it's a rotary switch, and it lets the microprocessor know what mode the VCR is in. So for example, if it's in the the play mode and you're pushing the eject button, it's not going to let the eject button work, and that's because the mode switch has multiple contacts in it and kind of lets it know what position it's in. Now, because these things corrode inside, a lot of guys would just replace them, but I found that you can clean them. I've had a lot of success cleaning them, and there's a trick to getting them apart. First of all, I used to try to push in these tabs right here on the side, and what would often happen is I'd end up breaking them. You don't want to do that. But if you're clever, if you have maybe 3 hands available at once, which most of us don't, you might be able to push in, or 4 hands rather, you might be able to push in 4 tabs at once. But another way to get these things apart, a lot of times you could just take a flat blade screwdriver, carefully put it under here. Let's see if I can do this without damaging anything. Oh, before I proceed, I almost forgot the most important point. These things have to be lined up. When you put everything back together here, if you don't get it lined up, you can end up in big trouble. In fact, if we look closely at the gear down here, you'll notice that there's a little hole on this gear, and I'm going to take my marking pen. I'm going to draw a little mark right there. I've done enough of these so where I kind of know how things are supposed to be lined up here, but basically if I was to rotate the belt that you can't see in this video, it would move the position of this gear and it would mess everything up. Now the same with the mode switch. The mode switch has a little indentation on it if you look carefully. It's not real big, but let me see if I put my finger behind it. You can kind of see the indentation is right here. You get that thing out of alignment when you put the mode switch back in, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. So I'm going to go ahead and take my screwdriver now and pry this thing apart, and hopefully I'll have success. Let's see if I can get this. There we go. Oh, hey, look at that. Popped right out. I got lucky. There's the back side. If you look, you've got these little like brushes that as they rotate they make contact with the metal inside here, and what happens is the metal gets really corroded over time. And so what I do to clean it up, I've got one of these pens here. What do you call this thing? It's designed for cleaning the paint off circuit board traces. So if you're going to solder onto circuit board trace, you'd rub these. This is like a fiberglass in the bottom of this pen shaped thing here. In fact, I've got an old one here that I got from Radio Shack a long time ago. Oh, sorry, pretty messy. I've had it for years. Basically, it's got a brush that I can turn this thing. I can make the fiberglass hairs stick out here, and this one's got essentially the same thing. So what I do is I take this fiberglass pen and I rub it inside the mode switch like this, and I do this for a while. I may do it for a couple minutes just to where I know I've really cleaned up all the corrosion inside there. I want that thing to get real shiny and get rid of all that corrosion. Not just corrosion, but it's also got a lubricant in there that seems to like it yellows over time and it gets all corroded. So what I do is I clean this up for a while, get it all clean. By the way, I don't know if a lot of you guys go back far enough. You remember the first TV tuners that came out, they had similar contacts in them, and those things were always corroding, so anybody that owned a TV did well to also have a can of tuner cleaner with the TV, because you always had to spray inside the contacts in the tuner. They were always oxidizing. And in fact, I met a guy that opened a TV repair shop next to the beach, knowing it'd be a great business, and he turned out to be right. Had a lot of jobs just cleaning up the tuners for people. That was in the good old days when you used to be able to make a lot of money doing this sort of stuff. Now it's not so good. Anyway, I've been doing it so many years it's hard to walk away from it. So anyways, you can see that's a lot cleaner in there now. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to let me see, I could take some tuner cleaner. I never trust tuner cleaner just to lubricate it. I want to use a silicone grease. In fact, what I use a dielectric tune-up grease. It's a silicone grease. I think it's pretty good stuff. I'm just going to take a little paper towel and rub it around there, and just a little bit more, just to get all that old grease out of there. I think I've pretty much cleaned it up. There we go. The other thing worth cleaning, I noticed that on the side here, these metal contacts, they've been pretty well oxidized too. So I'm going to go ahead and clean these up. Some of the other things that can cause your VCR to eat tapes is a slipping belt. I guess the clutch mechanisms can go bad from time to time, and they can cause you problems too. But I think the mode switch is one of the more common ones, and a lot of people don't know about it. In fact, I should advertise that you can send me your VCR and maybe I'll get it going. You know what I don't like are those dual VCRs. There we go, that looks a lot cleaner. I don't like those dual units that have the DVD player built into them. Those things just aren't made to be worked on. Even this one is almost questionable as to whether it was worth working on it or not. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take some of my dielectric tune-up grease. I'm going to put it inside here. Kind of move it around a little bit. I don't want to put too much and I don't want to put too little. I want to make sure everything gets good and coated here. And then I'm going to pop it back together and spin it a few times by hand. And hopefully that'll take care of it. I'm kind of squeezing the tube, not real hard, just enough to make sure I get a little coating on all the terminals here. That looks pretty good. Well, it sure looks a lot better than it did anyway. So now this thing here, this has got the brushes on it. Kind of hard to see, I suppose, but it's got the two little brushes there that kind of, as the thing turns, it kind of spins. Every once in a while I pry these up a little bit. I try to be gentle, because what's the old saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I figure these things might have lost a little bit of their spring, so I just bent it up just a tad bit. And I suppose I could clean these things, these brushes too, although I don't think that's much of a problem. There we go. So I'm going to pop this back together now, if I can. Let's see if I can get this back in here. I got it. Hard to get that thing lined up just right. Well,
I don't think you can get
there
it
we
back
go.
in. Oh,
There we go.
Might snap it.
Well, just for the record, the VCR is working great now. I had a little problem lining up the loading carriage, but I finally got it in there, and I think
So thank God VCR repair stuff was immortalized on YouTube. It takes forever to find a working VCR these days. Exactly. Oh, that's a great one, that was. Yeah, it's good stuff. I'll probably go back through these people later. I might even subscribe if I think they're if it's worthwhile. Did look like, didn't I? What's this one?
Hey guys, so it eats the tape just to kind of see what happens.
You know what I like? Every single one of these videos has given me something new to work with.
And we'll cut to
I
that.
bet he finds a different mechanism. And he's on a DVD combo, like that other guy said he doesn't like.
So that's essentially, it just kind of kicks it out.
Yeah. That's what mine's doing. It's looping. I think it's looping over it looks like it's stuck on the audio section.
Then it does that. So if you guys know what's going on there, let me know. I'm going to keep working through it.
So sometimes I just put it back in again, and then I pull it back out, and sometimes it finally jolts and lets it and frees itself.
And see if I can fix it. So some people suggest online just kind of holding the tape in there, not letting it eject.
Someone's put, where was the fix? So yeah, he it sounds to me like he's asking people to help him fix it. He has said there's another video with it where he's fixed it, but yeah.
So I'm going to try that now. Let's see. This time it won't let me push it in. So let me mess with it some more. So yeah, that didn't work, guys. Just keeping it forced in there. I tried to take out this piece here, basically this whole setup, so that there's like a switch in there that sometimes if you clean it, that'll help make it work better. I sprayed the whole thing down with some electrical cleaner.
Looks to me like he's in a similar situation, but he's taking it all apart, not knowing where to start. I think that's what it sounds like. Someone's put, "Hi, I don't understand. The title says how to fix. There is no fix. You need to change the drive belts. If it's not spinning, it will not continue going. There's a black and white gear underneath the main gear. It's a sensor. If it's not turning, it will shut off." This man told me jack shit. It's because some people are genuinely going, you know, you need the help. But it's enough videos on YouTube not to sort of go mental about someone. He just titled it bad, I think. He shouldn't have said fix because he's asked, you know. Yeah, oh, that's a different one. Yeah, so I think I've learned a lot. But the basic cleaning is the head and the audio part, of course, but it's just going to be, if there's an issue with the mechanisms, it becomes a bit of an issue, because I think that was my concern. If you start going near them little cogs everywhere, you start seeing them underneath the drawer. I don't know if you can see it here, but I've seen it in a few of the videos now, where underneath here, I think it's in there. Let me have a look. Somewhere at the front, there's loads of little cogs.
Here.
Wait a minute.
So that's essentially. Let me see if I can fix it. Just keeping it forced in there.
I think it's underneath this frame.
I tried to take out.
There you go. All these little cogs here. Last thing I want to be doing is messing about with all these. And there's like these little tiny springs I saw as well, and it's like it's going to go. That's where I'd get stressed if I've got to start messing with that too much. And when they said a drive belt, where the hell's the belt? I've not seen anyone talk about belt. But if it comes down to that, you just have to look up the belt situation. It's something, I think, if you're going to have a VCR, you're going to need to know how to do basic repairs, because otherwise you're always going to be replacing them, and you can't guarantee the next one's going to be any better. So anyway, that's me looking it all up, really. I'm just I'm learning